Welcome to Fire Breathing Kittens, an actual play podcast. Every episode microplot is a complete adventure with a beginning and an end that fits into the overarching macroplot of the whole season. Because they stand sturdily on their own, you can listen to these adventures in any order and can skip any you don't enjoy. Today we are playing using the combat mechanics from a game called Tales from the Loop, the official RPG based upon the famous franchise that you may be familiar with. Check out the shows. I think they're currently on Amazon. This is an evergreen podcast, so who knows where there's shows, and there's an official TTRPG based on those shows, made by Free League Publishing. So this is a game where time travel is explored through the lens of actually being a different aged version of yourself. One whose memory of what it was like to be another age is faded by time and is distant and is surreal. The kid version of you really doesn't understand the logistics of how to pay rent, while the adult version of you really doesn't remember what it was like for adults to be out of reach and out of touch. It's our first time playing, so we might make some mistakes with the mechanics. If you enjoy these mechanics, you can find Tales from the Loop on freeleaguepublishing.com. Build your own Tales from the Loop character and play a game with friends. Speaking of friends, today we are joined by... Can you please describe what your character looks like and tell us about your character sheet? Wilford Tohu Wabohu.
Yeah, hello. You can call me Willy. I am a tinker troll, and I to inspire that, I am doing a bit of a homebrew. This is the AV geek, or the ham radio geek, if you will. I love taking things apart and putting them back together. It's such a fascinating thing. But I do have a bit of a problem with bullies because I'm very small, you see. I'm about 2 feet tall, very lanky for that 2 feet. Big eyes, bulb nose, wonky ears, and not the most fancy attire because I live right now in a cave with my Uncle Philo.
And tell us about your stats.
Yes, I have 2 body, 4 tech, 1 heart, 5 mind, and then I put my skills, 1 sneak, 1 move, 2 in tinker, 3 in calculate, 1 in investigate, and 2 in comprehend.
Fantastic. And Norbert du Silex.
Hello, my name is Norbert. Usually in this universe, I am 49 years old, but with this, do I say my age in this game is different, right?
It is, yes, it's different. It's between 10 and 15.
So as it turns out, I am 13 years old. So I look very different. Not very different. Same build, little shorter. My hair is not silver in this case. It is sandy brown. It is pretty nice, you know. I miss this color of hair. So for my, how you say, like I am typically a farmer, agriculturalist. So in this game, I am a ick. I'm not pronouncing the ash. H-I-C-K, ick. So I'm like a farm boy type person. So my attributes accordingly would be my body is 4, tech is 2, because I can do like tractors and things like this, but computers, radio, forget it. That is not something I'm interested in. That is for my friend to do. Art is 4, mind is 3, and let's see. For my skills, I have a sneak 1 plus 1, force is plus 3, move plus 3, tinker plus 1 again, nothing fancy for me, just mechanical creations. And then investigate plus 1, empathize plus 1 as well. Because, you know, there are animals and plants I like to connect to. That is where I am from. I don't know what else to say. I'm wearing pretty much the same outfit I always wear. So like from my 13-year-old self, I have the same haircut, same outfit from now until 39, which is my typical age in this podcast.
All right. You guys have a good balance. At least one of you can do everything. That's good. You are both starting your day in the Fire Breathing Kittens Guild Hall. The guild is a large building with a bar, a sitting area with wooden tables and chairs, and a wall with the corkboard and job flyers posted. Please role-play as Wilford. You were in the empty guild hall alone, and Norbert, you're going to walk in and meet Wilford as your fellow Fire-Breathing Kittens guild member for the first time. Norbert, please roleplay that you realize that you recognize Wilford from when you met as children, during a summer many years ago. What are you doing in the empty guild hall before Norbert arrives, Wilford?
Yes, I'm probably working on a little bit of a project, putting a few things together. I've got this spoon from a recent adventure, and I'm trying to figure out how to turn it into perhaps some form of projectile weapon. So I've got a little wrist attachment device, and I'm playing around with the mechanism.
I suppose that is my cue to come in. So I do not knock, because I made this mistake before. As a certified member of the Fire-Breathing Kittens, I am free to just come in the door, which seems very impolite to me, but I come in. Anyway, nobody is there, so that means it's probably a good chance I will get a good job from the corkboard. I see no one except a short fellow who looks very preoccupied, thinking. So I say, I don't know pretty much anybody in the guild. I will walk over there, introduce myself, and maybe he can join me on an adventure, or I can join him. Maybe he already has a job. That's what he's doing. So I walk over there. I take a look. I say, hello, and then a feeling of familiarity washes over me. This person is not unfamiliar. It's like an older version of childhood happenstance of a meeting. And I say, excuse me, do I know you? You look very familiar.
What? Yes. Your face looks very familiar as well.
Well, I have a face. Yes. I must say, wait, say more words. Your voice, it is clear like a bell from history.
Well, let me put this to you, friend. I can't help but notice that you speak with an Albion accent. You hail from those parts? I spent some time there in my youth.
Yes. I grew up on a farm, a little village in Albion, in the forest. Maybe you are familiar. It is Chailly-en-Vin. It is a very small village, but it is beautiful. Was beautiful. It has come on some hard times recently. Did you ever visit? I swear you are so familiar.
I spent some time as a young lad staying with my Uncle Philo in a cave in Albion.
Oh, mon Dieu! I think I recognize you. You are, I have not seen you for many years. Billy... Gilly?
Norb?
Norbert. No, I am Norbert.
Oh, yes.
You are Willie.
Yeah, I go by, you can call me Wilford for these days. Willie was kind of a name from my youth, so to speak.
Yeah, well, that is when I met you, so it is very appropriate. I would try to call you Wilfred, but old habits die hard, you know.
That's fair.
Yes, I remember. My friend Michelle introduced me to you. You are like her. You are a fix-it person. Are you a fire-breathing kitten as well, or are you here to hire people for a job?
No, I'm also a fire-breathing kitten. Wilford, pulls the little collar aside and shows the fire-breathing kitten tattoo.
Excellent. And Norbert will show his tattoo. I cannot remember where I put it. I probably on the inside of my arm. So I show it to him. I say, hey, me too, huh? So, what a crazy... I have not seen you since I was 13 years old, I don't think.
Yeah, it's been a long time, especially on my end. There was, in the fairy realm, some time loop things. We don't need to get into that now. It further makes sense in my mind why you didn't recognize me. I'm quite more aged than that little 12-year-old running around in the woods so long ago. Are
you still... So a sudden thought comes to Norbert. All these memories are flooding like crazy. One of the things, he had a friend when he was very young called Michel. and Michelle actually introduced him to Willie, and so I have not seen her for many years. And I say, "Hey, Wilfred, I must know. Have you heard from Michelle lately?"
No,
Michelle
I've...
Breton.
Yes. We were quite the trio back in the day, as I remember.
Yes, indeed.
But no, I've not seen Michelle in years. Probably not since I last saw you.
Nor have I. Really, that is... there is a part of me that would like to find her again, and I thought maybe fate was smiling on me because I see you today, and that is a possibility, but I guess that is for another time.
Once you said that you kind of lost track of her. You two seem quite close back in the day.
We were. We would play every day practically. But for whatever reason, so my family would try to visit other family in Guaso, in this country, every summer. But one summer, she just, poof, her whole family disappeared. It was very sudden. No forwarding address, no notes, no mail, nothing. I don't know, she just gone.
I wonder if her family had some kind of trouble that they were on the run from.
It's possible, but nothing a little 13-year-old boy could handle, you know? But now that I am older, wiser, able to do more things, maybe there's something I can do to help.
I wonder if there's someone among the kittens who might have a lead, that means of tracking Michelle, that we could reach out and collaborate.
It's possible. I've been asking around, no luck so far, but who knows, maybe one day. I did not mean to interrupt, you looked very busy. What are you up to?
Oh, just working on a little invention of mine, trying to figure out the offensive capacities of a spoon of famine. Be careful, it's quite dangerous, but very innocuous seeming.
The spoon is a weapon.
Yes, I find that it's helpful to be able to catch your enemies unawares.
Definitely. Remind me not to use any of your silverware.
And with that, thinking both to themselves, man, if only we could go back. As adults, we would understand so much more from that time. Ka-thump, 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 goes Wilford's heartbeat in his chest, reminding him of a time when he heard that sound before. Oddly, Norbert, you also hear the ka-thump, ka-thump, ka-thump. The guild hall fades from view. The sound becomes overwhelmingly loud, until you can't hear anything else, can't see, can't tell which direction is up or down. Ka-thump, ka-thump, ka-thump. It's all you know. Gradually, the sound fades to a quiet, rhythmic heartbeat. Ka-thump, ka-thump, ka-thump. We'll do one scene for each of you separately before you meet up. First, Wilford, you are a child again. You remember this. As a child, your parents sent you to stay for a summer in Albion with your uncle Philou. How's that pronounced, by the way? Philo.
Philo. Like the dough.
Philo? Okay, with extra letters. That's appropriate for Albion. All right, so I invited you to stay for a summer in Albion with your uncle Philo. You delightedly look around your childhood summer stay room and excitedly look around for a broken watch and the repair tools Peter loaned you. The watch and Peter's repairs tools aren't stashed in the two places where you'd normally hide them from your uncle. Let's do the first roll of the game. What attribute and skill would you like to use to investigate the room?
I would like to use my investigate skill, which is going to be a mind skill. So with my 5 in mind and my 1 in investigate, I shall roll 6 dice, looking for a 6.
Great. The 3 challenge ratings in Tales from the Loop are normal difficulty, which requires 1 6 to succeed, extreme difficulty, which requires 2 6s to succeed, and almost impossible difficulty, which requires 3 successes. Let's make this an extreme difficulty to find the watch and an almost impossible difficulty to find both the watch and the tool.
GM, I have gotten 2 6s.
Success, you find the watch that needs repair.
Here it is. Why would have it been over here? This is not where I left it.
You continue to hear the steady ka-thump, ka-thump, ka-thump that is ever present underground here in Shayonve because of the reactor. Willie! Calls a voice from down the cave. It's your Uncle Philo, calling you.
I quickly stash the watch, I think on my person, kind of tucking it in amongst the kind of ragged clothing that I'm wearing, making sure that it's run through my rope belt in such a way that it's not going to fall or clatter. I say, yes, coming, Uncle.
As you walk through the cave, you hear the ka-thump, ka-thump, ka-thump still. Please describe one of the scrap metal style artifacts you pass in the cave. It could be an experiment long abandoned by the researchers who work at the reactor in town, or perhaps a machine that had a purpose, but, having wandered down here into the cave and gotten lost, ran low on energy and entered power save mode. You decide, what is this scrap metal style artifact you pass in the cave?
Yeah, I think the artifact that has found its way here to Uncle Philo's home and my home away from home, it is a... It appears to our eyes as almost something of a statue, perhaps someone... And I think to Philo, he seems that it's just a statue. I recognize that with the proper power, that this device would be a functional automaton of some kind for a purpose related to procuring ore samples, hence its presence here. But I kind of, although I have deduced the role of the device, I do not know the first thing about how I would power this.
Doesn't have enough power. Interesting. That theme will be carried forward. You reach the dining area cave. Uncle Philo, a 4-foot-tall, 70-pound male cave troll adult with a bald head, coal-colored skin, and black eyes, wearing lizard leathers and a floppy mud hat, is sitting at the table, looking at something in his hands. A chair has been pushed out for you to join him. Uncle Philo says, "Part of the reason why your parents sent you to me, Willie, is to help you grow up and become a proper troll. I was cleaning your room and found this tool. Where did you get this?"
Yes, this tool. I procured it in town, removed it from one of the locals who now no longer has it, and they will be quite surprised and disappointed if they should need it, and now I have it. So it's as you've shown me. We cause the trouble for the village people, keep them away, make sure they do not intrude on our space. Yeah, it's very good.
Now, part of the build for your Uncle Philo was that Uncle Philo likes playing tricks. So this will make the difficulty of the challenge lower, because Uncle Philo likes playing tricks. Let's use the challenge mechanics of Tales from the Loop. What would you like to roll to get along better with your Uncle Philo?
Let's see. I think with sneak being, like, clearly this is a bit of deception, because the true heart of this matter is that this is a tool that Willie has received from Peter. There is the kernel of truth in this deception that if Peter were to need this specific thing, he wouldn't have it, because I do now. But I'm definitely misleading Uncle by framing it as though I snitched it. So although I'm being sneaky, I think that within the system, that's just the bodily stuff. So I would imagine that this might be either charming or empathizing.
One way to pick skills is to look at the bonuses you'll get if you succeed, because skills list extras. If you get more 6s than the number required.
Oh.
So you can look at the list of bonuses for each of those skills and decide which one applies more to your situation.
Yeah. I think it's going to probably be bad for Willie, but I think in my heart of hearts, what he's attempting to do is kind of charm his uncle and be like, you don't have to worry about this. And so I'm just going to throw a single D6 at this challenge.
Oh, and I'll tell you the stakes.
Oh, okay.
If you succeed, Willie is allowed outside and your relationship with Uncle Philo improves. If you fail, Willie is sent back to his room grounded with a curfew and would need to sneak to get outside. And if caught outside, would be in trouble.
Ooh, well, sometimes you just got to roll the hard 6, as they say. So, and this is lovely. We let the dice tell the story. So I'm going to throw a D6 and we'll see what we see. And that's a 2.
Ooh. Would you like to use your luck points or push?
I'll
explain those mechanics. Actually, Norbert, you haven't had a chance to talk in a while. Can Norbert explain the luck and pushing mechanics for our listeners?
I will try. So just to be clear, I read this rule book like a week and a half ago. So I'm a little rusty, but here's what I remember. Based on the age that you pick for your character, between 10 and 15, the lower the age, the more luck points you receive. So, for example, I am 13. I have 2 luck points. If I was 15, I would get 0. If I was 10, I would get 5. And with each luck point you may use before, so you roll terribly, like Willie right here. Oh, 2, come on. And so you say, I will use a luck point before the consequence of my roll is established. So I use 1 luck point per roll. I'm allowed to re-roll, and hopefully I get a better roll. Now, you can only use 1 luck point per roll, so hopefully it gets something good. And I would think you would want to use it metagaming-wise, like with multiple dice. Like if you fail, but you are rolling like 5 dice, that is better than 1.
Yeah,
push
that's what
is
I'm
different.
thinking as well.
Yes. Okay, good. Yes, just explaining to the listener. Yeah. For push, that involves you're able to enhance your dice, but at a cost. So you have to portray something you're doing physically to enhance your roll, but it will cost you, like maybe you are scared or you are afraid, like you do something a little risky. But the consequence, if you fail, is you get a condition that will affect you going forward.
You take a condition to be able to push, and you might also gain a condition from your failure.
That is, like I say, a week and a half ago, I read.
No, you did very well.
Okay.
So if you accept a condition, you can push.
How sneaky are you? Are you very sneaky?
I'm more sneaky than I am persuasive.
So maybe you sneak out. I mean, it's not a problem.
This seems like something I'm going to just... This was almost preordained, as it were. So I attempt to make good with Uncle Phil, but he sees through me like a window.
There are consequences for failure in this game. Can you please gain a condition that you find appropriate, such as upset, scared, exhausted, or injured? Are you upset by what's about to happen, maybe?
Upset seems a very safe one here. It's not what I wanted to have happen.
But as he unfortunately does not buy your lie, he's like, I know you got this from Peter, because it says Peter's tools on it right here. And there's no way you'd steal from Peter successfully. There's just not. You might not know this about Peter. He looks pretty human, but he's not a human. So you wouldn't successfully steal from him. I've tried. I found out the hard way. And that's how I know that you couldn't possibly have stolen from Peter, which means you're friends with him. You're friends with Peter, and he's teaching you more of these non-troll activities, repairing watches. Is that what proper trolls do? Maybe you should think about it in your room.
But Uncle, I'm becoming better at taking things apart with learning the skills. It's good for making tricks.
If it was good for you, would your parents have encouraged it, or would they have sent you here to me to set you straight?
To be fair, I did not know Peter before I was sent here, and so it's hard to say what my parents would have thought.
Well, I'll ask them. And
no, you don't need to do that. I will go to my room. That's fine. No, you're very wise, Uncle. I shall go to my room. We shall never talk about this again.
Okay. All right. That is a great conclusion to that scene. Let's change scenes to Norbert. So Norbert, meanwhile, you are also a child again. You remember this. You remember the familiar ka-thump, ka-thump, ka-thump you heard every moment of every day when you lived at your childhood home. Speaking of things and people you haven't seen since your childhood, you are currently walking through the woods with your grandfather, Henri, right? I assume that's how that's pronounced. It's an H.
That is correct, yes.
Okay. An elderly 6'3" 210-pound human man with salt and pepper hair, tan and leathery skin, and light blue eyes. As he pushes aside an overhanging branch for you, he is wearing slacks, suspenders, a short-sleeve button-up shirt, and a well-worn fedora. Henri is wise, gentle, and possessing a spine of steel. He's talking to you in this moment and says, oh, what is that accent? That's why, to make a concoction to help Michelle's mom with high blood pressure, we're going to be looking for Grifolda frondosa mushrooms today.
Ah, okay. Merci, grand-père. I'm very excited to find these different the concoction ingredients. You've trained me for this for many years, and I think I'm ready to try to find it on my own without your assistance. Is that okay?
Oui.
Oh, excellent. Okay. So I am full of more energy than before because as an older man, the joints, the back, it is a little sore, but for whatever reason, I'm back and I'm so excited. I forget that I was just in the Fire-Breathing Kitten Guildhall. I'm with my grandfather. I'm amazed that I'm seeing him again because he passed away like many years ago. And so to be in this moment is everything. And so I say, so I turn to my grandfather. I say, Grand-père, is it the end of the woods mushroom? That is what you teach me the other day, right?
Oui.
Okay.
And let's use your Tales from the Loop mechanics as a normal difficulty challenge. What would you like to roll to see if you succeed at identifying a hen of the woods or Grifola frondosa or not?
I think I would use investigate, which is a mind attribute. So I will add my mind attribute score, which is 3, to my investigate modifier +1. So that is 4 dice, correct?
Alrighty.
Okay. Oh. I get a 1, a 2, a 5, and 1 6.
1 6 is a success.
Whew.
Your grandpère says, that's right. Grifola frondosa, or maitake, is a social mushroom with a smoky brown wavy cap. The cluster actually, player, you have the opportunity to describe a hen of the woods if you would like. If not, you don't have to. Do you want to roleplay this?
I will try. Let me look up my handy-dandy mushroom reference list. So, Grifola frondosa, or end of the wood mushroom, also maitake, is good at improving artery functionality, helped to lower LDL cholesterol, improves cardiovascular health, and lower your risk for heart disease, and can be identified. It usually grows at the base of hardwood trees like oaks, and it looks a little brown on top, little white on the bottom. You think it has gills, but no, that is not quite right. But it has a soft underbody, and the reason it is called end of the woods is because when it grows, it looks like a brown chicken, like with feathers. It's very tight clusters of little mushroom. So that is what I remember.
Your grandpère looks impressed.
I'm so excited. Oh, by the way. And so as the excitement washed over me, like I remember this exercise when I was little. And so for me as an adult, this is no problem. I know exactly what the mushroom is. But I go, Grand-père, I need to ask you, something very weird is happening. And I look down at myself and my body. I say, I am a young boy, but one moment ago I was an old man, or older. 49 is not old, it's middle-aged man. And it was the future, and you were passed away, and the forest was dying, and I meet a friend I have not seen in a long time. Why is this happening? Why are you real?
Your grandpa checks your mushroom bag and doesn't see anything suspicious in there, but it was a good check. And stops and thinks for a second and goes, the forest was dying?
Something happened. It did not happen until I was older, maybe like my late 20s, but it started very slow. But all the life, all of it, the mushroom, the trees, everything start to decay, start to lose life. Not as vibrant at first, like it was alive, but not as rich. But slowly the life drained from everything. And I go all the way to Guasso to join an adventuring guild of breeding kittens, so I can find out what's happening with the forest. I'm very concerned. And now everything is beautiful. It is alive. It is vibrant.
Well, it sounds like you are working on it. And you notice he didn't even flinch at the fact that he was dead in the future. Man. And he thinks to himself and he says, Norbert, you will figure it out. Perhaps you are here for a reason. And he pats you on the shoulder and he says, come with me. You're walking back through the woods. Scattered around you, grown over by leaves, are neglected particle accelerators, magnetic levitators, and robots who could have run out of battery or could just be waiting for the right activation signal. Can you describe some of the scrap metal relics you see in the woods?
All right. So most everything is covered in moss. It is a very rich green area. So if you picture tall trees, singing birds, but every once in a while covered in dirt, moss, shiny, formally shiny, some rust, but still catches your eye. Lots of curvature, unnatural for a natural occurrence of stone or trees or anything. And to me, it is very unsettling. It is not natural at all. But you see giant tubes protruding from the ground that were supposed to be submerged, which I can only assume was scientific equipment or something. And then the figure of a man, but covered in years of dirt, moss, as if the nature is trying to recapture this unnatural element. It is almost like an old civilization that is forgotten. But you see lots of metal, which is contrast very strong with the nature. And now, so mushrooms are everywhere. That is why me and Grand-père, we love this forest. But there is no mushroom around the metal objects at all. It is unclear why.
So the lack of a power source and the struggle of nature to reclaim humankind's discarded scrap. All right, we've got themes, people. Yes, and the reactor tower is ever present whenever you can see from a hill into the distance. Henri is elderly. He's fragile. He's walking on slippery, wet, moss-covered bark. Can you predict and prevent the next challenge? What do you roll?
So my prediction is that he is going to sleep. Not like, sometimes my words do not come out clear. Not like go to sleep, it is nighttime, but sleep on the rock because it is slippery. So, anticipating this because this is a path I have been on many years. I know that this is a slippery section. So I use my probably force or body move skill, which is a body attribute, to try to help either catch his fall or assist him as he goes down the slippery path. Did I anticipate the challenge correct?
Yes, you did. Go ahead and roll.
Woo! Okay, so I have +4 in body, +3 in both force and move, so that is 7. Hold on, 5, 6, 7. Oh my, okay. 1, 1, 1, 3, 2, 3, 6.
By the skin of your teeth. Oh my goodness. Success. You don't have to watch your grandfather land heavily on the forest floor. Instead, you grab his arm before he goes down, and he fixes his blue eyes on you and says, "Thank you, Norbert. What would I do without you?"
I blush a little bit because it is so wonderful to be with my grandpère again.
And we will conclude the scene there. Alrighty. The next scene, by the way, Tales from Loop is like, make scenes. Yeah, I did. All right. The next scene is with Norbert. Could you please roleplay as Michelle?
I will do my best. It is going to be this accent, but with a little higher register. So forgive me, ladies. I do not do a lady voice very good.
Okay. And Michelle meets Willie at Peter's workshop because she was sent to the workshop by her parents to buy a tool they need. Peter sells tools to artificers who work at the reactor. Peter encourages Willie, who is being strange and standoffish, to be friendly to Michelle.
Oh, hello? What is your name?
Hello. You can call me Willie.
Oh, Willie, it is so good to see you. My name is Michel. I am here to get a tool from Peter. Do you know Peter?
I do know Peter. He's a very good teacher. He is showing me things about tinkering and putting things together, taking them apart.
You are a tinker too? I am a tinker as well. My parents are fabulous as far as tinkers go, and they think Peter is an excellent teacher. I am only getting a tool this time, but hopefully I will be able to be one of his students very soon.
That is so exciting. We could tinker on things together. We could collaborate.
What is an invention you have made recently that is the most exciting for you?
And at that, Willie, really kind of, draws in on himself. Because at this point, he is largely just in that stage of, I love taking things apart. And so putting them back together is a big growth edge for him. And so he kind of, there's so many choices. The ones with the gears, and he's looking around for things. He's a watch, seeing one of the many watches that Peter's in the midst of, constructing.
Watches are my favorite. To be honest, I'm not at that stage yet. I'm more of a take apart things kind of lady. So one day, though, that is why I think I will get lessons with Peter. I'm not very good at putting things together just yet.
Yeah, see, I hear what you're saying about taking apart much easier than putting it back together.
Yes.
There's things that I put together, they don't always work right the first time. But it comes in time. Peter, he...
So I was helping my father.
Practice.
Yes, my father showed me. He put together this most amazing invention. So around our house, we have mosquitoes, and they are terrible. I hate mosquitoes. They bite me all the time, and so my father sees all the bumps on my body, And so what he does is he creates something for the mosquitoes, except it is not for the mosquitoes. It is to attract bats to eat the mosquitoes. It is amazing. It calls to them. The bats come every night. They eat the mosquitoes, and look at my arm. No bites at all.
Yeah, it's amazing. But if the bats are eating the mosquitoes, does that mean there are no mosquitoes for you and your family to eat?
No, sorry, my voice is different. They hate mosquitoes. They do not eat mosquitoes. The H is a little
how
different.
silly of me. Of course, why would you eat mosquitoes? That's not a thing that people
it's
do.
Okay. That happens all the time. And so Michelle blush a little bit. We dislike mosquitoes, and but my father fixed it, and that is the kind of person I want to be. I want to create inventions so I can help people all around the world.
I think as this part of the conversation is happening, like Willie is like discreetly like shifting the weight of the little pouch of like dead roaches and beetles and things that he got from the cave as like a walking snack for the day. Just pay no attention.
It's so. After I get this tool, do you live around here? Do you want to? I don't know. Get to know the place. It is a very pretty place. My parents can maybe teach us some things for building.
I need to hurry back to my uncle's. I am staying with him while I'm visiting here in Albion. So I can't.
Oh, is your uncle nearby? Perhaps I can visit. It is so nice to meet another tinker.
Yeah, it is very good to meet you, Michelle. But my uncle is very strict, and he is not one for guests. He is what is the word? A bit of a recluse, yeah.
No, I understand. My father's uncle is very similar to this, and so I understand. And so secretly, what Michelle is imagining is that maybe Willie is ashamed of his house, and he does not want anybody to come over because he is ashamed maybe it's dirty or small or something. And so Michelle is putting in her mind that she is going to follow him later to find out where he lives and then visit him, and that he does not need to be ashamed, you know? But she's not telling this to him right now.
Oh yeah, this will be very interesting to see how that plays out.
Okay, well, I need to get this tool back to my parents very soon.
So you look at Peter, who has ducked behind into the back room of the shop, away from the displayed watches, into where the tools are stored. And you can hear some banging and some thumping and like an ouch as a tool clatters. This is very unlike Peter. Peter is organized. Peter is, goes to where tool is and tool is there. And as Wilford hears that, Wilford, you know that that's not like Peter at all. That's how would an organized person lose something? And finally, Peter comes back out and says, Michelle, I'm afraid that I just can't find it. Tell your parents that I'll send it over on a different day. And he clutches his head in his hands like he has a headache, like something's bothering him.
Oh, Peter, that is so strange. You always have the tool. Is something wrong?
The thumping is gone and I just can't. And Michelle, you know that you do not hear the thumping now that you're thinking about it. That ever-present thumping. You don't hear it.
Yeah.
Willie, you do.
You say that you don't hear the something?
It's gone. And he looks like he's going to cry.
It is still there. It's here. It's Thump. Thump. Can you hear if I help you? Thump. There it is again. No?
I look around and I hear nothing. I see nothing. I'm like, Are you okay? Really? There is no thumping.
You are playing a trick on me, yes? This something it is ever present here in Albion.
Peter looks intrigued when you say that. A spark of hope lights his eyes as he starts to go get tools again and bring them out and measure you, Wilford. And the needles are jumping off the charts.
Peter, what are you doing?
Well, this is very strange, very strange. And he's making graphs. He's plotting slopes. He's calculating intercepts. He's too busy to talk to you, child.
I would like to take a gander at what he's jotting down and just see if I can get even the most rudimentary understanding of kind of what seems to be his primary focus or what he's honing in on.
Wilford, do you currently understand time travel?
Does
child you
child me
understand?
Definitely doesn't have the faintest.
Then this will be a 3 rating, 3 successes to succeed roll.
Oh, all right. Okay, cool. Well, so this feels like a comprehend, I think, is the right, more so than calculate. And so comprehend is a mind skill, so I have 5 plus 2, but minus 1 because I'm currently upset. This is after I've snuck out.
Yeah.
All right. So this is going to be 6 dice trying to get 3 successes. Ooh, 1, 6, but after that, 4s and below,
So, not that I have a stake in what you're trying to do, but if perhaps you use a luck point, maybe that would be very good.
Smoke if you got them. I will spend 1 of my luck points to reroll. And correct me if I'm wrong, GM. Do I keep the 1-6 and just reroll the fails, or do I reroll the whole set?
Keep that success.
Nice. All right, so re-rolling the 5 failed dice. Looking for 2 more successes. Twos, all 2s and 1-1.
Yeah.
Aw. How many luck points do you have left?
I still have 2 luck points.
Well, that's something.
Yeah. It would be very fun if this is the root of Wilford's time stuff. So I spend 1. I'll give it 1 more go. So I have 1 luck point left. I'm going to roll 5 dice, looking for 2 6s. That's not bad. 6, 5, 5, 1, 1.
What you get from this is that you really want to understand time travel. You want to, but the diagrams don't make any sense. It's almost like
my head hurts.
Yeah, it's almost like seeing a 3D plot of a 4-dimensional concept. There's gaps in it and they don't make sense. How is it a straight line if there's dashes? You're confused.
Far beyond my training.
Far beyond your... How old are you?
I'm 12.
Far beyond your 12-year-old mathematics training. Keep studying math and physics and maybe you'll get there. But what you have is a great desire to learn as Peter looks at you and solves for X and says, "Oh, you're from the future." And now everything makes sense to him. He's not bothered. He doesn't have a headache anymore. He's like, "Oh, I have solved."
So Michelle will look at Peter and then at Willie and say, "Is this why I have never seen you before? You're from the future?"
So just point of clarity, GM, for me as a player. So in this moment, because we just established that 12-year-old Wilford does not have any of the framework of future Wilford for time-related shenanigans. And so Peter has just said, "You are from the future." But does Willie have like that connection? Like, is it true that he is from the future, but that's all kind of walled off from him? Or does hearing that kind of like click it into place and now it's all there for him?
No, you still only have access to your childhood, like memories, abilities, skills, etc. And I think Peter's going to explain a little bit for Michelle and say a lot of timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly explanation that doesn't make sense to Michelle or to you. And we'll say, basically, blah, 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 blah. He's not really from the future, but that's why I can't hear the thumping. Everything makes sense now. It was actually all about me and my need for hearing the thumping at all times. And if I simply send you back, I can hear it again. Perfect.
Oh, well, that is good to know. Especially to hear it expanded upon in that way. For I do not think I'm from the future, but if there's something in your readings, I know that you are very astute with such things.
He's going to turn to Michelle and say, Michelle, it would help me if you would keep Willie's presence a secret.
Oh, so I can keep it a secret, but what can I still meet him or maybe introduce him to friends? I do not have to say he's from the future, just that he's from, I don't know, another country or something.
Willie, this is going to be based upon your relationship with Michelle that you just made when you talked to her and how she was like, I want to come over to your house. And you're like, no. So because of that, it's going to be a 2 difficulty. Can you please convince Michelle to keep you a secret when she desperately wants to apparently stalk you? So
I just have not met another tinker in this area. It's all agriculturalists.
Yeah, convince her not to do that.
Yeah, I think I would like to put...
Let me give you some stakes before you pick. If you succeed, she will keep your secret. If you fail, she will tell people about the cool new troll she saw in the clock shop. She won't mean to, but it's just going to slip out.
Yeah, I would like to make the argument that I can use empathize as a way of finding out kind of what is the thing that will land for Michelle that allows her to see this from my angle. So I'm trying to get into her head in order to help her get into my head in order that she might say, oh yeah, it is important both for Willie and by Peter's request that I keep this a secret. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So with that, I have no skill points in empathize, but I do have a 5 mind. So I shall roll 5 minus 1 because I'm still very upset. And so with those 4 dice, we shall see what we shall see. So that is 4, 3, 3, 2. Yeah. No, this would not be a good thing. You should not do that.
Oh. I understand. I will not. I will try very hard not to reveal your secret. You can trust me.
I
but
appreciate
of course,
it.
you know. Just as an aside to the player, she is not going to try very hard because she's so excited to meet someone like you.
And I love the idea that there's perhaps a bit of the like I know better type thing going on. There's in the same way, like he does not have to worry about his home. I'm sure it will be fine. Oh, he does not need to be secretive. He will be welcomed by the community. Very well intentioned, but perhaps not the not the best on discretion.
Yes, that's right.
And with that, we're going to conclude the scene in Peter's clock shop. Peter starts scribbling furiously on charts and graphs, and before he seemed a little upset, but now he seems energized, like he's going to seize control over mankind's creation. Woo, themes. All right, we're changing scenes. This is the GM monologue scene, because player request. By player request, you now have 10 minutes of me talking. All right, here, let's go. Norbert, we're changing scenes again. Let's go back to you and your grandfather Henri in the woods. The reactor tower is ever present whenever you can see from a hill into the distance. You walk past abandoned machines and scrap metal, being reclaimed by nature. The 2 of you are on your way back to town, returning from collecting mushrooms. A 6'4", 185-pound elf man is standing waiting for you. He has black hair, pale skin, emerald eyes, and is wearing silken robes. Your grandfather greets him. Joai, how are you today? The elf squints and doesn't answer. Instead, he says, Henry, I was hoping to speak to you. It's about this new medicine business you've come up with. You're new to it, and as the established medicine compounder in town, I was hoping that perhaps instead of you giving what you've made away to the villagers at such low cost, and subsequently low profit, you could partner with me. Sell the medicine for a higher price, make more profit. Doesn't that sound grand? He smiles. Henri looks thoughtful, and takes a moment to consider. He clears his throat. Joai, medicine shouldn't be sold for a high profit. It should be available to everyone who needs it. He looks calmly and steadfastly at Johai, unyielding, firm. Johai reaches into his silk robe. I was hoping you wouldn't say that. Johai retrieves a pinky finger-sized, clear golden stone with rough edges, and gestures threateningly at you, Norbert. Before you can react, Henri pushes you out of the way. The clear golden stone glows briefly, and Henri crumbles to the ground. Johai smiles savagely, both top and bottom teeth flashing for a second, until, with a cough, Henri stands up slowly. Johai looks confused and quickly tucks the tiny golden clear thing back into his silk robe. The elf grumbles to himself as he storms off. Henry pats you on the back, Norbert, and says, Don't mind him, Norbert. Let's go home now. He coughs as you continue walking home. You remember this scene much clearer now, Norbert, recalling details you didn't as an adult. The clarity of your memory, the yellowness of that stone, its rough edges, the way it flashed with bright light when your grandfather fell to the ground, the way the cough that would eventually lead to his funeral started today.
That was a very sad memory for me. I did not want to see that again, and part of me knows I've been trying to prevent the memory for a very long time. My grandfather was everything to me, and I know that his cough gets worse and his health gets worse. He was always seeming very invulnerable, like nothing could ever stop him until this day, and it is very sad.
Yeah.
So as we walk along, me and my grandfather, I talk to him and say, Pepper, who was this man? Who, you know this man? Why was he, what did he do? Why was he so bad?
He thinks for a second. Sometimes people, they forget the point of selling things isn't to make money, but to make people better.
Did he forget that? Is he someone who tries to, he only thinks of himself, I suppose?
That in itself is not evil, Norbert. That's just self-preservation. But where one goes too far is in pursuit of profit. So remember, Norbert, people matter.
I will remember, Pepper. Do you need something for your cough? GM, I would like to ask you, do I have the memories of a person from the present, not this past?
No.
Okay.
It's very distant. How good are you at remembering things more than 10 years ago?
It depends on the... it depends. So if it is important, I remember. But if it is
really
like...
You are your childhood self.
Okay.
You don't know how to pay rent. And you don't know a lot of things.
Perfect. So I just say, Pepper, is there anything I can do to help your cough?
Oui, Norbert, let us make a mushroom concoction for it. And you guys are going to go through the woods and find an anti-coughing mushroom.
Perfect.
And we will change scenes. And that's what he said to you at the time. That's what you said at the time. Is there anything I can help you with? And you guys made a mushroom concoction. Time. It's a circle. That's what happened then. All right, new scene. Woo. This will be, I think, the last scene before we go to break. All right. Norbert. Michelle. It's a different day. Michelle, you're being role-played by Willie's player now. Norbert, you're role-playing as Norbert. And you are talking in the woods about mushroom farming from Norbert's side and artificing things from Michelle's side that you've learned recently from your families, and you are out exploring in the woods. Michelle mentions her mom and dad work as artificers at the reactor, and Norbert has to pass a challenge to build friendship with Michelle, or not.
All right. So I am talking to Michelle and I say, so then my grandfather get up and then this man go away. Johio, I don't remember his name. He had very black hair, pointy ears like an elf. And I asked grandfather, what can we do? And as always, he's so kind. He says, let's go find some mushroom. And so we go look for some red reishi mushroom because for a long time it is supposed to help with cough, asthma, things like this with breathing, boost immunity. And he takes it, but for the first time it does not seem to help. And I'm very confused. And I know that the power of nature is very strong, but I don't know. It was I don't know. It just makes me very uncomfortable.
I'm sorry to hear that you are having this problem with your grandpa.
That is okay. So what is going on with you, Michel?
I've been taking lessons at Peter's, as you know. I have not yet begun to take lessons. But one day soon, I am sure he will take me on. You know, I have learned many things from my parents. They've been working with their own skills as tinkers. And one day soon, I'm sure that Peter will take me on. He will see the talent that I have gained from my parents. But while I was there, I met there is a new boy in town. He is a little troll boy who is
I should
apparently...
say the stakes of your conversation. Okay, so Norbert and Michelle, role-played by Willie's player, are talking about mushroom farming and artificing things they've learned from their families recently while out exploring. Michelle mentions her mom and dad work as artificers at the reactor. Norbert has to pass a challenge to build friendship with Michelle. The success or failure of that challenge affect how Michelle tells Norbert about Willie and about the reactor, what she knows about the reactor.
Oui. Rewind.
I should have given you the whole thing.
I don't know. I just knew she was burning to tell people.
She is. It's going to be not a hard challenge to get this information out of her.
So that's very exciting for me.
That is very good. So your parents, I know when I'm out on walks with my grandpa, we see the big tower all the time. I ask him about it, but he does not know very much about it. But he did mention some of the people in the village do work there. Do you work there, or your parents, or do you know anybody that work there?
And let's make this a formal challenge. So use a skill and an attribute. Tell me which one you're using, and we'll see how much Michelle spills. I'm going to say your difficulty is 1, by the way.
Okay. I'm going to say that question is more of a charm question. So I will use my charm skill, which I have +0. But my art, which is the base attribute, is a 4. So what I will do is I will roll 4 dice. Hopefully I get 1 6. Wow. 2 6. 1 6 4 6.
This is a great time to point out that Charm might have some extra stuff. Again, you always want to read the extra text on these skills. You might get bonus stuff.
Unfortunately, I'm only looking at my character sheet because
I have it. If you get bonus in Charm, side effects include... it says someone can continue to believe you over time, form a lasting relationship, take risks to help you, will try to persuade others to believe you. You may use Charm bonus to frighten, confuse, or impress an individual, or to leave them infatuated with you.
Your choice, Norbert. You get bonus if you're choosing.
No, I am. No. So I've not revealed that I have a crush on Michelle. So I am very infatuated with her, and I would love if she was infatuated with me. But I don't think that the question of who is working as a plant is a very romantic question. So I think realistically, I will say that it is more of I am showing interest in her life, the life of her parents, and so she is more lasting relationship is being built here.
So you asked that question to Michelle, and I think then, based off that bonus, y'all were kind of shoulder to shoulder, making your way through. You're pointing out mushrooms and other nature stuff that you've learned from your grandpa. And so her gait changes just slightly that allows her to kind of turn her posture a little bit more openly to you. So she's giving you more of that direct focus. And she says, no, I do not work at the reactor myself, but my parents certainly do. They are working on a project there, something related to alternative power sources to refuel battery cells. It is beyond my own skill set, so I only know the broad brushstrokes. But
don't worry, that is way beyond my skill set. Everything you say is very exciting and foreign.
Very exciting, yes. But I have some exciting news to share as well. You get the inside scoop, and she kind of leans in a little bit more, like conspiratorially. So I think like your shoulders are brushing up against each other. She says, "There is a new troll that I met at Peter's workshop.
A real-life troll in our village. Oh, wow! Is he a nice troll?
He seems shy. Is how I would describe him.
That is okay. Is he in a brand new place? Probably. Wow.
He said he is visiting, staying with his uncle.
Oh, does his uncle live close by? Maybe we could go. We could hide across the road, and we could wave and say hello, but from like across the road, so his uncle does not know, but he sees us, and we wave.
He was very not forthcoming with where he and his uncle live. But I have a great idea that I will follow him and find out where he lives.
You know, my grandpa knows everything in the forest. He is so familiar with the village. I guarantee he knows where he lives. I could just ask him, and then we could go there.
Should we go ask your grandpa right now?
You want to?
Oui.
Okay, let's go.
No time like the present.
And I would like to say, during that last part of the conversation, when the shoulders rubbed together, Norbert smelled like a little bit of a strawberry perfume. And his insides are shaking very much because Michelle is so pretty and she smells so nice. And Norbert is a little very nervous.
And it's because he's nervous that he shouts at the top of his lungs, let's go ask my grandpère to tell us where the troll lives. And you guys pass a tree and meet Willie in the forest, who definitely heard you.
Hello. Little like hand wave.
So I turn very quickly. I say, who are you?
This is the troll I was talking about. Willie, this is my friend Norbert. Norbert, this is Willie.
Hello, Willie. My name is Norbert. How are you? And I go to shake his hand.
So Willie is like 2 feet tall. So he's looking up at you. And I think as you put out your hand, that Willie would look at Michelle and look at you. And then you'd notice him like look over both of his shoulders and then really quickly like shoot his hand out, give you one quick like squeeze and shake, and then darts his hand back. Yes, nice to meet you.
Welcome to Chai-en-Vin. It's so nice to see you here. Do you need, would you like to have a tour? My grandfather knows everything about the forest. If you want to check it out, we can do that. Or would you like maybe some food? I have some berries here in my pouch.
I was heading back to my uncle's, but food. Surely there's enough time to have a quick bite.
So I when I hear this, I reach into my pouch and there is a mix of blueberry and raspberry. I take them out and I put them in both my hands like a cup, and I hand it out between Willie and Michelle, so they can pick. Just take everything you want.
I think Michelle would grab a couple of berries. I think that Willie just like his hand again darts out. He just grabs like a fistful and just mashes them all at once into his mouth.
Norbert is surprised. He's how strongly he enjoys the berries. I say, "Oh, you like? We have so many berries in our front yard at our house. If you want to come over sometime, we can all just pick berries and eat them." And so, as I'm saying this, I'm eating just the raspberries. They are my favorite.
Yeah, I do like these are very good berries. But I really need to go. My uncle is expecting me. So I need to return before he comes looking for me.
Okay. Or if you want to meet maybe tomorrow, we have a hideout. We'd like to hang out then, and maybe you can join us.
In this scene, Willie is definitely like really reluctant to this. I'm just trying to think about what would tip him over. You will bring more snacks tomorrow?
Yeah? Absolutely. Yeah, I can bring whatever. We grow practically everything. What is your favorite fruit?
Yeah, I do not have much experience with the fruits. They're very tasty, but
what do you like to eat?
Yeah, and he hand kind of goes to that pouch at his side, and thinking about Michelle's comment earlier about, no, of course we wouldn't be eating the mosquitoes. So he says, just the normal things that a person might eat.
I read in books
lizards.
We have lizards. I can catch. I'm so good at catching lizards. It is not a joke at all. I'm very serious. I'm the best lizard catcher. I can bring 3 lizards tomorrow.
Willie feels like he's dodged a bullet and like actively would be like, whew, pick the right one. If we dine on lizards, you can count me in.
Oh, excellent. And so Norbert, out of his pouch, pulls out a notepad and he writes down the location of the hideout, which is very close to the where nature was reclaiming the scrap metal and the robot or whatever. It's right there. And he writes it down. He says, "Here's a map. Meet us tomorrow and we will be there."
think Willie studies it intently for 30 seconds, just staring at it, unblinking, and then shoves it into his mouth and eats it.
I see this and I say, oh, he's so hungry. And I give him more berries. I say, would you like more berries?
Yeah, I will not say no.
Here, just take the rest. And I pour the rest into his hands. I say, here, welcome to Albion Chaillon Vin.
And he takes them and then throwing another glance to you and to Michelle, gives a quick nod, and then I think darts off into the bushes.
That was so cool. It was a real troll.
It was a real troll.
Wow. Oh, I can't wait to talk to him about where he's from and what he's doing here. That is so exciting.
Do you think that he will come? He ate your map.
Well, probably, maybe that is, I don't know what trolls, maybe that goes to his brain after he eats it. I don't know what trolls do very much, but I need to catch some lizards just in case.
That's a good idea.
This is the best day, Michelle. Thank you so much.
And now, because of your role-playing, Michelle will think of you long-term as well. You're not just someone she forgot from her childhood. You're Norbert, the mushroom and lizard-catching friend. And with that, we're going to wrap up part 1. This was part 1 of Tales from the Loop. Joining us today were Willie.
Yeah, it's been so good so far.
And Norbert.
I'm so excited to see what happens tomorrow. Oh, yes, you look at me like I'm trying to remind people to do a review. You're absolutely right with that look. So, people, you're listening to this podcast, right? It is hopefully very entertaining because we are having fun. I assume you're having fun also. And you could probably tell friends and say, hey, would you like to have fun? Well, do I have the podcast for you? And you give them this podcast and then they have fun. And then you can rate and review the podcast and tell people, not just your friends, not just your parents or co-workers or people you know, but everyone on the internet. You say, hey, this is very entertaining. This is my favorite character. This is my favorite episode, whatever. And then you give us like 5 stars. And everybody sees them. And then you are part of history. People will go back and look at this podcast and at your comment and your rating and go, wow, I would not have come here if it wasn't for fill in the blank your name. And then the podcast spread. And we, as the people who are playing in the podcast, are very happy because more people are listening. And then you can do feedback or whatever. Anyway, please leave a review. Please rate the podcast. And, it would be marvelous. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Goodbye.
Today's mid-episode shoutout is, quote, big thanks to PIH healthcare hero Priya. Your dedication to saving lives every day is awe-inspiring. You're our hero, end quote. You can arrange for us to read your shout-out at firebreathingkittenspodcast.com. Did you know we have paperback, ebook, hardcover, and audiobook adaptions of our adventures on Amazon and Audible? Is there an episode of Fire the Breathing Kittens that would make someone you know smile? Tell them about it. It would help us. Thank you.
Welcome back to Tales from the Loop for this episode. Joining us again are Norbert.
Hello.
And Willie.
Yeah, hello.
Now, there's no expectation here at Fire Breathing Kittens for you to not have been asleep, drunk, or high during part 1. We'll give you a recap. Can you give us a recap today, Willie?
Yeah, so the story began as the fire-breathing kitten tavern. Wilford was working on putting together a little contraption. When Norbert came in, the two of them interacted briefly. They remembered fondly their summer spent together as young children in Albion. It is very heartwarming, nostalgic. und they thought back to that time. And as they were thinking of that time, there was a ka-tunk, ka-tunk, ka-tunk. And all of a sudden, woo, 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 it is as though they were back in that time. And so we the camera planned in on Willie in Uncle Philo's in cave. And I found the watch. I did not find my tool. It was because Uncle Philo, the scallion, had taken my tool. He reprimanded me. He sent me to my room. It's very sad. Very upset I was. Then we shifted our focus over to Norbert. He had a scene with Henry. They were in the woods. They were walking, talking, having the good family times. They found mushrooms. Norbert opened up to his grandpa. And we recognized that there were many things going on in this surrounding area of Albion, the nature trying to reclaim the machinery, the abundance of mushrooms. Good time. Then we jumped to a scene where I had snuck out of my uncle's cave. I found myself at Peter's workshop and met Michelle Breton, and we bonded over tinkery things. Peter and myself impressed upon her the importance of not revealing my presence in the village to anyone else. It seemed as though that was clear. Also, in the midst of this, Peter revealed that his mind was very distracted. He could not hear the kasunk of the village. I relayed that I could hear it. There were many tests done. We found out, I'm somehow from the future, even though I have no memory of this. But for Peter, that apparently cleared everything up. It was all good from his end. But yeah, so we go. Michelle, she goes. She has chats with Norbert. But before that happens, we cut back. Norbert, Henri, they are heading through the woods, and they run into another scoundrel, an elf by name of Johai, who attempted to Yellowstone Norbert. Henri pushed his grandchild out of the way. He took the stone, curse, magic, energy, whatever it was. Something happened there that made Henri very sick. Johai leaves in the way the villains do, exiting the scene. And then Norbert and his grandparents, they go looking for the mushroom concoction to try and alleviate the cough. Then Norbert, he finds Michelle. They are in the woods. They are talking. They are laughing. They are having time talking about nature and tinkering. Norbert impresses upon Michelle the good friendings. They make friend time. They talk, they share. She talks about her parents' work at the reactor, speaking to alternative energy works they are doing with batteries. And as they are talking about this, she also reveals to Norbert that there is a new troll in the area. That's me. She says, I met him at Peter's workshop. I'm going to try and find him. He seems shy. And Norbert, he thinks it's a great idea as well. And so the two of them say, we find that troll. And then they find that troll, who happened to just be in the next clearing, who heard them talking about him. It was very awkward. But they ply me with food, which is a great way to get right to my heart. And they say, you like food? You come back. Come to meet us at this hideout here. I make you map. I study map. I memorize map. I eat map. And then I say, I will see you tomorrow for more food and lizards. And that is where we go.
And that is where we are now. Michelle has just popped out for a second, and Norbert is in the hideout when Willie arrives.
Hello?
Hey, is that Willie? Yes, it is Norbert. Come in. I'm so happy you are here.
Yeah. Hello. I am grateful to be here.
So, as promised, here are 3 lizards, and I hold up 3 lizards. Now, 2 of them do not have a tail, because as I try to catch them, the tail pop off. But I'm very persistent, and I keep going, and I get them. And I say, hey, I have 3 lizards, one with a tail, and I have the 2 tails separately. If you are a fan of tails, I don't want you to be missing the favorite part if that is your favorite part. So I'm containing them in my hands, and I'm moving my hands over to Willy for him to grab the lizards.
Yes, are they still live lizards?
Yes, because I have no concept of what your preference is. If I cook them and you want live lizard, well, there is no going back. But if you want them cooked, no problem. We can cook them in the hideout.
Yeah. So as you're handing these off, I think Willy's like, "Oh yeah, I like the tail. It's very good for slurping up," but he's not ready for them to still be alive for whatever reason. So as you open your hands, they start to scatter, and he just snatches those right up. And one of them, you see that now he's holding 2 lizards, and there's a little tail like just poking out of his lips, and he just goes, "Yeah, this is good lizard."
That you are the best lizard catcher, even more than me. That was amazing. I'm so glad we are friends now. We are friends now, right?
Yeah. I have many cousins back home, and if you are not fast, you do not eat. So I've become very fast.
But have you become friends? Let's find out using the healing mechanics from Tales from the Loop. Currently, Willy, what's your condition?
I'm still so upset at my uncle for putting me in the room and taking my tool.
Would you like to roleplay a scene in which you confide in a friend in a hideout to get rid of your condition?
Yeah.
All right. Norbert, if you're helpful, maybe Willy won't be upset.
I will do my best.
Healing mechanic, go.
Yeah. So I think Norbert still clocks some of this certainly nervous, perhaps negative energy, that Willy is carrying, and so if that kind of provides the in.
Hey, Willy, I'm so glad you are here, and I'm so glad that you like the lizard. I could not help but notice yesterday, I don't know if it's because of Michelle or what, but she is not here right now, so if you want to talk, like man to man or whatever, is there something wrong that maybe I could help with? You seem very, I don't know if it is you are new to Albion, it is unfamiliar, you are uncomfortable or something else, but we are here to help each other. The adults, they do not listen very well, and I know when I have trouble, I talk to my friends and I feel better.
Yeah, and I think you would even see there's a pause or a beat where you can almost see the gears turning in Willy's head, and he almost repeats back a little bit that sense of, this is what friends do. Yeah. There's my uncle, he's well, I don't know what Michelle said to you about me. I met her at Peter's. She and I, we both like tinkering. Yeah. My uncle, my family, they do not approve of intellectual pursuits of this kind. And my uncle, he took a tool that I had, and I'm supposed to not be here. I'm supposed to be back in my room. The grounding, if yes.
Oh, so, wait, no, I understand completely.
Yeah, it's very literal when in caves, the grounding. But yeah, so it's but adults, they just don't understand,
They should write a song about that. That is I think that is the heartbeat of our generation.
I think as you say that, there's just that pulse of the ka-thunk, ka-thunk, ka-thunk. Yes.
Listen.
Yeah. Heartbeat.
I understand when there are people in your life that do not support what you're trying to do. My parents try to dissuade me from mycology or agriculture, but my grandfather is very supportive. He is like a master, but it caused him a lot of trouble. He never get rich or anything like that. My parents want more for me, but that is not me, you know? And so it is hard to go against their wishes when they want what is best for you or what they think is best for you. I say, as long as you're not hurting anybody, what you're trying to do is okay. Just do your best and see, maybe you will surprise them. Maybe. What kind of work does your uncle do? Is he, he's not a tinker like you or Michel, but what, is he like a farmer, a fighter? What does he do?
Yeah, he is a forager. He's a bit of a hermit. Does his own thing.
It is hard to connect with people who try to be by themselves all the time. It is not your fault, okay? I think he does not know what to do with you, and he thinks you being alone is the best. So that's why he wants you to be in your room, but that is not you. And I don't know, maybe perhaps my grandfather could become friends with this man, and they can forage together, and you will be free. Or I don't know. If that helps, maybe we can do that. If not, that is okay too. But I will support you, whatever your decision.
Small, subtle GM suggestion. Willie, you got sent here because you were bullied where you came from, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I may have missed the subtle suggestion there.
Perhaps that could impact your uncle's impression of you getting along with the local kids and people and him wanting to protect you and your ability to open up to Norbert. Anyway.
Yeah, I think that my uncle wants me to become meaner and to assert myself in ways that are not good for making friends.
Have you ever had a friend before, Willie?
Toughen me up. No, this is a learning curve for me.
Well, I will tell you, I have had a couple of friends before. I still have them. I mean, they are good friends. I've not really moved from this place for a very long time, my whole life. But what I do know is friends help each other. So, if you want me to pretend to be some kind of straight tough, I can show up to your uncle's house and say, hey, I need people from my gang. And I hear you have someone in your house that could be in my gang. Send them out so we can make them tough and we can conquer this area. And then maybe he let you out?
Yeah, I don't... Willie chuckles a bit at even the idea of that. He's like, I appreciate your suggestion. I do not know... I feel like keeping people away from my uncle and trying to do things outside of his notice is perhaps what is best for me, yeah?
That makes sense if he is an hermit. Perhaps what his preference is that you are not there at all. So if there is a class you can take with a teacher that I can send like an invitation to a toughening class or something, where you will not be in the house, but you will be off. But really, you can be either hanging out with me or Michel, or maybe with this Peter person learning how to tinker. I don't know. But that would be like a win-win because you get to do what you want and he will not have you around to be in his air.
I do not know if this will work out for me, but I am operating under the idea in this moment that perhaps by rejecting my uncle's authority and disobeying what he has told me to do through the force of his authority, that perhaps that is what he and my family would like to see cultivated anyway. So I am trying this.
It is not a problem. One thing that my grandfather tell me is that if you want someone to be convinced that they want to do something that you want, you make your idea their idea. So you give credit to them for an idea that you have that will do what you want, but you make it seem like that is what they come up with, you know? So you have to tell them that you do not want to be a part of this class that make you all tough or whatever. And then he's like, you know what? You need to be tough anyway. You are going to this class every day for 12 hours a day or whatever. I don't want to see you in this house. You need to be in this class. And then you look a little grumpy, a little sad that you're going to this class. But in reality, you are going to see Peter and learn how to make things that are advanced. I don't know. I have no idea what a tinker does, but you do. You go do that. And your uncle is happy that he is trying to instill discipline in you, and then everybody's happy.
Yeah, that would be nice if that work.
Let's see what we can do. We can talk to my grand-père Henri, or somebody. I trust him more than anybody. He will help. But if you think Peter would be the better person, we can do that too. But no matter what we do, I am with you, huh?
And Willie, that's the first time anybody's ever been with you. When you lived in the place you lived before with your mom and dad, you didn't have any friends. You just had bullies. This is the first time in your entire life that you've got someone on your side.
Yeah.
You find that you're not upset anymore.
Do.
And a voice calls from outside of the hideout. It's Michelle, and she says, "You guys, I have found something."
Hey, it's Michelle. Hey, let's go and find out what she has.
Yeah, let's go. We move outside the hideout.
When you leave the hideout, you find Michelle excitedly running towards you. She's not got anything in her hands, but she's pointing behind her. She runs back in that direction.
I look at Willie and say, I guess we follow, I don't know.
Quick, let us go.
You run through the woods, your feet slipping on the moss, and you arrive at a clearing of sorts. I mean, it's a forest. But there's enough room for you to stand side by side here and look as she points at a 2-fist sized, so about this big, clear golden stone with irregular edges. It is next to a hulking, rusted piece of metal, like a machine, like a rusted humanoid machine being.
Is the 2-fist sized item somewhere on the machine, like in its hands or shoulder or head, chest?
It's about 10 feet from it.
Oh. Michelle, what is this thing that you have found? And at the same time, I'm identifying this is very similar to the object that the elf with the black hair have that punished my grandfather with this item.
She replies, "Oh."
While they are talking, Willie's attention went to the machine first. And I would like to be examining this and looking to deduce its current status.
What would you roll to determine that?
I bet I would roll calculate. That seems right. Yeah, so I think I would make a calculate roll.
Yeah, let's see your roll, and you can read the skill a little bit to describe it.
Yeah, so calculate, this is the ability to know how technical objects work and how to use them. Could be robots, machines, magnetic ships, cyborgs, or an alarm clock. And then if you get the bonus, there are bonus things.
Great. Get at least 1/6 to succeed.
Yeah, so this skill, I've got 3 in calculate and 4 in tech, so I shall roll 7 dice. And get 2 6s.
Nice. That sounds like one more than to succeed. So what are your bonuses for calculate?
Yeah, so I can learn its purpose, how it works, how I can use it, who built it, what problems could it cause, is it illegal? And I'm probably most interested in knowing how it works. That's if I can get it working again, we can figure out those other details.
It works by drawing energy from its battery, but the battery has no energy right now.
I would like to examine the current battery and its leads and what type of a receptacle it has.
This is a metal contact style battery. When you put two metals next to one another, it can store and flow charge. And there's no reason why this particular battery would be broken, and that's very concerning. You don't understand this. It doesn't look broken.
But the observation of the machine itself led me to believe that the nature of its not working is related to its battery being drained. Yeah?
Indeed, you don't have all the pieces of the puzzle.
So Willie's up on the machine, like kind of scratching his noggin, taking a look at things.
So as Willy is on the machine, I'm very interested in the object that is little bit irregular shape with the yellow, the 2V-size object that is not by the machine. I'm very curious about it. So first, I take a stick, right? Because I do not want to touch it directly. And I kind of poke to see what kind of material it is made of, if it is organic or a rock or something else.
It has the hardness when you poke it of a rock, and it reacts weirdly to the stick where, like, if you poke a rock that's embedded in the ground, it stays where it is. But poking this, it's like it's on a rail, and you can slide it back and forth, but not further or closer to the robot. So you can go left and right radially, but you can't go closer or further.
I would like to examine the ground around the object to see if it is on any kind of platform or something like this.
It is not.
So I know nothing about machines like this. And so I tell to Michelle and to Willy, I say, hey, when I poke this with a stick, it moves like this. I do not understand. It is not organic as far as I can tell, but this is a very mysterious object.
Michelle, have you ever taken apart a compass?
No. I have taken apart the magnetic levitators, though.
Then perhaps you are on the same wavelength that I am thinking.
It does seem magnetic.
I would like to hop down, and if no one stops me, I'm going to try and, like, spin it, if possible, to, like, functionally reverse the polarity of this little object and then see how it reacts to the big hulk of metal in front of it.
Ooh, spinning it was the solution. When you rotate it, it propels itself because if you've ever held a bike tire while sitting on a stool and spun the bike tire and then flipped the bike tire so it was vertical and now it's horizontal, you'll start rotating like a gyroscope. And it similarly has a pushing force, sort of, again, magnets. And it hurls itself out, it shoots out, and it's like throwing the stone as it goes far, probably 30 feet away from this robot.
Whoops. I thought I was flipping it the other way. Hold on. Recalibrating. To stay out of the path. Yeah, I would chase after it. I'm chasing after. I want to see if I can essentially turn it in whatever way I would believe would lead it to be attracted to the metal as opposed to, like, further repelled.
Well, as you're trying to figure that out, and you're chasing after it, running 30 feet away from the robot, nobody's watching the battery as the charge gets restored. But thankfully, there's another way to notice, because the robot stands up.
Where is Michelle in this situation?
Chasing after the magnetic levitron thing. Absolutely. So, Norbert, you are the closest one, and you're watching your friends. As nobody's watching us behind you, this robot stands up and up and up.
Is it a noisy robot? Like I can hear it standing, or is it very quiet?
It is creaky. It is noisy. It is rusty.
I will turn slowly to examine what the source of the sound is, and my eyes get enormous with the giant metal person standing. I go, oh no.
You go, oh no, as it pulls back an arm, makes a fist, and goes to punch you. We are entering combat.
Oh no. I should have reacted more than just saying, oh no.
Norbert, enemies don't really like... how do I phrase this? The game master makes no rolls in Tales from the Loop. So instead I'm going to throw challenges at you. And you can react how you want using your skills and attributes. And if you fail, you'll get a condition that's appropriate. And if you succeed, you can change the situation for the better. Like that. This robot's going to punch you. What are you going to do about that?
Well, first, I'm going to be very insulted. Like, internally, this takes macroseconds, like very small time. I'm like, hey, I cannot believe whoever this person is going to punch me. He does not even know me. And number one, very insulted. Number two, I have done a lot of wrestling with family members. It is part of growing up, and so my body, so I am mid-puberty, right? I'm 5'8". I'm getting bigger, a little stronger. I understand my limits and what I can do from a physical perspective. So I see the fist and I know what is about to happen. So intrinsically, just after wrestling and fighting my cousins, I know where the punch is going to go. I slip the punch and I move out of the way, and immediately I seek to jump on the robot because he is towering over me, right? This is a big robot. And so I don't know how to fight a machine, but what I will do instead is I will try to find a power source or get it in a headlock. You know what? That is what I will do. I will get it in a headlock, thinking that it's probably like a person that is going to be effective, right?
Let's see that roll. Getting it in a headlock, would you say that's which attribute and skill?
I'm going to say that it's a first skill, which is a body attribute. And so, thankfully for me, growing up on the farm, my body is very strong. It is a 4 body, and force is a +3. So, +7 dice I will be rolling. So,
right. Because of the height, let's say that you need 2 successes to get up on this thing. You're quite shorter than it.
Right. So, as it turns out, I have 3 successes. 6 to 6 for 5 for 6. So
amazing.
I nimbly dodge whatever punch it thinks it is going to land on me. Hey, forget that. I am going to jump on what I presume its neck, and try to get it in a headlock.
Yeah, and do you have the body skill up in front of you? You get a bonus for your extra dice, I think.
I do not have the...
That's okay. Willie will read the extra body success effects.
For force successes, bonus effects, give a success to another kid. Impress, frighten, or humiliate. Pin your opponent. Take something from your opponent. Your opponent is knocked unconscious. You do not need to roll to overcome the exact same trouble in the future, or you avoid any collateral damage.
Ooh.
I would like to pin this opponent to the ground.
Was that one of them?
Yeah.
Okay. The weight of you on its head topples it over, and it whirls its arms out, but can't help creak as it falls and crashes to the ground, which definitely will alert Willie and Michelle as they hear a huge... Yeah.
I probably should have used my words to communicate that I was getting into a fight with my friends, but my instinct just took over. I could not delay,
Yeah, I would like to rush to aid my new and only friend, perhaps two, one of two, very dear. And I would like to try and tinker with this robot and prevent it from making additional attacks against us.
Okay, so you're intending to tinker, and Michelle doesn't really want to get closer to it, but she is going to notice. She's like a problem solving with her brain sort of person. She's going to notice that it activated right now in particular, and when the rock got further away. So she's going to shout to you both, "Do you think it had something to do, whatever accent, with this yellow stone?" And she's going to keep spinning the stone, which is going to make her dash after it. It went this way, it went that way. And you guys can notice, because she used her action to help you out there. So you guys succeed at this notice. I'm just mechanically in the background, don't mind me. That the robot and its activation and energy depends on that yellow stone distance. So that's what she's doing with her turn.
So you notice that the power level in the battery is not stable. It is fluctuating with the movement of the stone, yeah?
Yeah, when the stone gets closer to the robot slows down. When the stone is further from the robot, it's able to move at full speed.
If that is the case, I would say...
You shall try to bring it back over here.
Exactly, yes, I repeat what Willy's saying. So it is twice as loud.
So Norbert had a turn. Norbert toppled the thing over, and it'll be prone for its next attack. Don't worry. I am carrying over your status change to it. Michelle had a turn. She investigated, as an artificer would, the cool glowing thing. I'd say now it's Willy's turn.
Yeah, I want to essentially gum up the gears and the connections between the chassis and the arms, so that if it tries to swing again, the arms either are non-functioning or they are moving, grinding much more slowly than they otherwise would.
Okay. That will be a 3 difficulty check. As its arms are whirlwinding around as it is trying to right itself on the ground.
All right, let's do this. So tinker, tech, so 6 dice for 3 successes. Here we go. 665531. I'm going to use my last luck point to re-roll those 4 dice and get a third 6.
Nice. Describe what happens.
Yeah, so the arms, they're swinging, they're flailing, they're trying to attack. But I notice where the joints are allowing the mobility, and I grab fistfuls of sand, tiny pebbles, and I start gumming up those gears. I get a particularly nice one. I get it in there, so I am attacking right at the fulcrum. Is that right? Right at the point of movement.
Its arms are taken out unless it fixes them. We're back to the giant machine. The giant machine is going to spend its turn standing up from the ground and trying to stomp on someone who's nearby, which is Willy.
Oh no!
Willy, I'm going to suggest that this is some sort of physical dodge, because a giant foot, so you see it stand up without arms, which is hard, but it does it. And a giant foot is coming down on you from the sky, you 2-foot-tall child version of Wilford. What do you do?
I will try to move out of the way.
I would like to help Willy by perhaps putting the robot off balance or grabbing the foot and pushing it. So, perhaps it is easy to push Willy. I don't know. He's a lot lighter than this giant robot. But no, I'm already wrestling with this robot. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm going to push the leg of the robot so it does not stomp on Willy. If I can use help as an action.
You can, but if this does not succeed, you will share the negative consequence that Willy faces.
That is no problem. I am a friend, right?
Add 1 dice, Willy, to your trying, I think, force dodge? I don't know.
Move.
Move. Yeah.
Yes. So this is a body action. So I get 2 dice for the body, 1 for move, and 1 for the assist. So 4 dice.
To get 3 successes.
3 successes.
Oh,
Sweet. Hop up and down.
Wish I knew that before I offered help.
Would you like to rescind your help?
No, it's no problem. It was, what is done is done.
So I rolled the 2 successes, and because it is also the case that my friend Norbert is here with me, I will use my, if I may, my pride, for I am able to outwit any bully. So if I can leverage my intellect to make the attempt to kick at me and Norbert go awry, then I shall do that.
Let me look up what pride does real quick. I have forgotten.
I think it generates a single success towards a check.
You can use it once per session.
You can use your pride once per mystery. It gives you an automatic success. You can activate the pride after a failed roll or even after a successful roll to add a success.
Indeed, it's on page 60 of the rulebook.
It was a very good use of your pride.
Once per mystery, you may check your pride. So it's like checking your pride. It's not using your pride. You're going to have to roleplay this. To get 1 automatic success in a dice roll, you can check your pride. Explain how your pride helps you.
Yeah, so having taken the arms out of the equation, I anticipated that any further assault from this robot would come from its legs. And so when it stands up, it clicks immediately for me. I say, yes, it is rising up. The boots, they're going to come in our way very quickly. And so much in the way of that someone who is good at the fighting, they can take advantage of their opponents when they telegraph their attacks. This is telegraphed so much that I am like, no, this shall not be a problem. And with Norbert's help as well, he rushed to my aid. I say, the kick! Look out for the legs! And we are able to dive to the ground. And as the arc of the kick, because again, I'm close look at the different structures of its limbs. So I'm able to analyze. I know that the angle and the distance that we are, that the arc of the leg will pass over us if we dive to the ground at this moment. And so we do.
Indeed, you do. You're not stopped.
I'm glad I listened to my friend. That could have been a disaster.
Michelle, how's it coming with that rock?
Oh, I am an NPC. I will be over here.
Push the rock.
But she does get the rock closer to you guys, so it's now in your field of interaction. And the clear golden stone glows brighter and brighter as it gets closer to the machine.
So, do we have turns in this game rule set, or can I just go ahead and act?
There are no turns. There's no initiative, and there's no GM rolling and Tales from the Loop.
I see the golden stone, and I will work, knowing what Michelle said before and what Willie is saying. I pop up off of the ground. I sprint to the stone, and I just do what I can to pull the stone as close to the robot as possible.
Whoa, that's going to be some kind of force or body or something. Use your body attribute and one of its skills.
I will use body attribute and force skill. Mm-hmm. Again, that is 7 dice. Mm-hmm.
2 difficulty?
Oh, no.
3. This is rotating. It's rotating.
Well, because of the rotation, I can see why I did not succeed. I hit 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 6. So.
Oh my gosh.
Can you believe it? So I'm going to use a luck point because this is the perfect opportunity to use. I'm going to keep the 1, 6, and I will roll this other 6 dice.
Handful of dice.
Yes. Oh, as it turns out, 653-162. So,
There you
3-6 total. Oh my gosh, thank you. Luck roll.
It's good you're a lucky kid.
So I managed to, first it is rotating and it is hard to manipulate, but then I understand it is like a trying to chase a jackrabbit through the forest. And it is very tricky, you have to anticipate its moves very carefully. And I use that kind of intuition and I anticipate where it is trying to go and I'm able to react and push. And as I do, the stone float closer to the robot.
It does. As it floats closer to the robot, white glowy, what reminds you, Norbert, of mushroom spores, of course. White glowy mushroom spores bubble and ooze, like how you've seen some mushrooms get like little bubbles of water on them. Anyway, bubble from the surface of the robot and then soar through the air, again, magnets. And the white light spores enter the clearish yellow rock with jagged edges, and it gets brighter and brighter, and the robot stops moving.
Whew.
And the stone gets brighter and brighter, and brighter and brighter, and starts making a buzzing sound and vibrating.
We may wish to take cover.
Yeah, that is a good idea. I was looking to Michelle and Willy because that is not a sound you normally hear in the forest. So I don't know what to do with that. But yeah, we'll run and observe from behind very sturdy trees.
I want everybody to make a move check to see if you accomplish your goal.
If trees are far away, I would just climb up and put the robot between me and the stone. I think the iron would also be a good wall, but I am happy to run for trees with my friends.
If you run for trees, it's going to be a 3 difficulty, and if you go behind the robot, it's going to be a 2 difficulty for your move check.
I'm going to run behind the robot.
My instinct is to run to the trees, so I go that way. But I only get 1 success. Oh, maybe I re-roll. I have 1 more luck point, and this seems very critical. I should not sleep on this. I get no more 6s. I cannot believe it. 1, 1, 1, 4, 4, 4, 5. Oh, putain. It's all right. I fail.
Oh, you're running for the trees, and Willy, you're...
I got 1 6, so not the 2 that were required. So I clamber up behind the robot, but I cannot get a good position.
You can't get a good position, and as this stone explodes, fragments of it hit you, Norbert, and then knock you off the robot behind the robot for Willy. And Norbert, little dust-sized particles embed in your skin. You have a slight rash from this. And Willy, you fell off that robot so hard, then you landed on a stick. So you actually got, the stick basically gave you a black eye. I want you to please be injured, Willy. Mm-hmm. And then Norbert, you can choose your condition, as you didn't make it to the trees before it exploded. Oh, your options are upset, scared, exhausted, or injured.
I was looking at the conditions. I think because it is a foreign entity, not natural, I will say I am scared.
Yes. And underneath your skin, there's a bumpy region on, you can choose which part of your body it hit, where there's little fragments of that stone reminding you that they're there. Sort of like a tattoo, it got deep enough and it doesn't leave.
I will say it is on my upper shoulder blade, left side.
All right. When you wear bags the wrong way, it kind of grinds against your bones and you're like,
and it
uncomfortable.
Ruins my sweater. Like they are all in my sweater and I'm very upset.
Oh, yes. Thankfully, Michelle made it behind a stump.
It's a good thing she stayed in the forest, huh?
Yeah, it was only 1 difficulty for her. She was far away. Okay, that was the stone's action. Do stones have actions? That was the stone's action. And when it explodes, there's a glowing, floating mass of basically like mushroom spores. in the sky and in the trees, and they float around kind of like fairies, all like, gently moving, and they spiral. They start to swirl around one another and spiral downward into the robot. The robot has its energy returned to it after the explosion of the crystal. And the robot lights up. It lifts its arms. It has no arm restraints. It's like, ah, so strong, fully powered. And there's no turn order, but I feel like you guys probably should be able to take action. Or maybe it should stomp you and punch you. What do you think? Let's stomp and punch you, and then you can take action. Okay.
I think it would get an opportunity to punch me, because I think as that energy was swirling, I would have hopped up and tried to observe it, and maybe even like grab at it or take some sort of reading. And so I'm right there for the robot when it comes online to start smacking me around.
Yes, you are. So it's going to try to punch you. And Willie, please do some kind of check to, your choice. Dodge, disable, something this robot, tinker, whatever you want to do to try to knock it smushed by this giant rusty machine.
Yeah, I don't want that. Let's see.
And remember that your successes are at -1. So this is a 2, which for you is going to be a 3.
So is it -1 to my dice pool, or is it -1 of my 6s?
-1 to your success pool.
Oof.
Yeah, so when you roll 2 6s, you actually have 1. Or if you roll 3 6s, you actually have 2. Conditions are rough. Yeah. You have the condition of injured, so it's 2 difficulty, which is just like average, But for you, it's 3. So whatever you're going to do, I'm just saying, you're going to need 3 successes to succeed because of your condition.
So I'm going to make a pitch to you, GM. I would like to use... I guess this could be calculate. Calculate the ability to know how technical objects work and how to use them. So I would like to calculate the manner of giving instructions to this robot in order to either set it into a non-attacking mode or power it down, whatever is easier.
All right. I will accept this. Go ahead and try.
So this is calculate. That is 3 dice and the 4 from tech. So 7 dice to get 3 successes.
You can do it.
The dice tell the story, and they say 1 success is not enough.
Unless you push.
Yeah, so yeah, sure, why not? So pushing, I get to re-roll the failed dice and take another additional status.
Yes, for your future rolls, you'll have a second condition.
Yeah, and let's do... I'm going to say exhausted. However this goes down, this is much more physical activity than I want to do in a day. So I'm adding exhausted, and I am re-rolling the dice.
Norbert, you're going to help? You'll be exhausted as well if you do.
No, I think I am... So, number 1, I'm scared. Number 2, when I see the spores, I instinctively think of mushroom. And I'm very knowledgeable about that, and so could be poison. And so I use my opportunity to get a bandana out of my pouch and wrap it around my mouth so I do not inhale any of this. I just had pieces of this yellow stone in my shoulder. I don't want it in my lungs because it could be a big problem. So wrap it around. And honestly, I do not see Willie behind the robot because the robot stand up. It is enormous. It is colossal. And Willie is very small. So I do not even see to help.
Okay.
Yes. So with the pushing, I get an additional success, which is still 1 shy. Would be enough if not for the black eye. So as I find the thing on the robot, I think, this will tell me. But I'm like, I cannot see because I got the stick in my eye. And as I'm trying to look, more unfortunateness befalls me.
Oh, I would have given you a pet robot. You would have just had to get 3. All right. Well, you can't reprogram the robot. Instead, you... I hate to take you out of this fight because you just got a condition from pushing. So I can technically, as the GM, give you another condition right now.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I will take pity on your poor soul and say that you attempting to reprogram it does not result in an injury for you.
Yeah. Either way, it's likely I'm going to be returning to my anchor sometime soon. So if it's with 2, if it's with 3 or 4, it's neither here nor there.
That's true. Well, so you do not reprogram this robot, and it is very angry and extremely powerful and all charged up. Norbert, it's up to you. What do you do? We can't have a pet robot at this point.
So
the reprogramming failed.
The reprogramming failed, but I do not know. So I don't know anything about machines. So reprogramming, any of this, I do not understand. But I do know when animals or even plants are suffering, they can do things that are very harmful to the people around, the environment around. So what I see is a creature in pain. And so what I stand up, I dust myself off a little bit, and I try to communicate. I say, hey, why are you punching us? Why are you hurting? What do you need? We are your friends. We can help. Please let us know, and we can work together. And so I will use my turn to try to communicate with this creature I know nothing about, but attempt to make a connection and see what it. If I can satisfy, like if it thinks we are enemies, say, hey, we are not enemies. We can go get some food together. I don't even know if you eat, but we can do that anyway.
What attribute and skill are you trying to use here?
Probably contact, I think would be the appropriate attribute. So contact, I have a +0. Attribute art would be +4.
And you know that you have a -1 to your successes here. So you're suggesting that on 4 dice, you're going to roll at least 2 successes.
Statistically, it is unlikely, but I'm willing to try. And maybe Michelle wants to help. I'm just saying, you are here.
NPCs can't help you.
Don't be so small-minded, GM. This is it's your game. You can do whatever you want.
All right. What if I want to crush you guys with a robot?
Okay, so in 2
I can
dice,
do that.
3,
It's a paradox.
4 dice, I get 6, 3, 6, 1. That's 4 dice. So -1, that would be the 1, I assume. So 6, 3, 6. That's 2 success.
Describe what you did.
I stand up. I have a appropriate posture because my grandfather is very clear and strong when he communicates. It's not aggressive. It is sure. He is very sure about himself. And I say, listen, I don't know who you are, what you want, why you are attacking us, but that is not our intention. We want to understand you. We want to befriend you, if possible, and help you if we can. And so I just, as clearly as I can say, to the point, that is what where we are, what we want. What do you think? And hopefully he can stop punching Willie.
I have been tallying your successful moves against this robot, and you have at least 3. So your goal from this is for it to understand that although it turned back on in a distressing way, that you're not the cause of that distress, right?
Yes.
Okay. It is pretty smart. It's about as smart as an adult, which is smarter than you guys. And it sees children that it has been trying to stomp. And it sees that its battery pack is at full. And you succeeded on your roll. So it stops attacking you. It straightens up. Its eyes glow like flashlights. And its boots have rockets in them. And it takes off completely vertically into the air, out of the forest, and flies off somewhere else. You guys might need to dodge because rocket boots have a lot of pushing power. Some of it goes force normal against the boots from the earth, but some of it goes sideways. So we're going to make one final saving roll for you guys, which I think is going to be move. As you take cover as this thing jets off into outer space. Or back to its experimental crater. Who knows? Let's see, one success to pass this final move.
So 3 successes, you're what we're looking for here on my 3 dice. I did get 1 6, but with being injured and exhausted, I am at -1 for my success total.
Oh, Willie.
So I roll 7 dice because I'm like, hey, dodging is no problem. I can move my body, except I'm scared from before. So that is -1. So the 6 I roll is the number 7 dice, so it does not count at all. And I do not succeed. So I assume there is burning involved. Hopefully it will burn the stuff out of my shoulder.
It's deep like a tattoo. Yeah, so both of you gain another condition and then read off your list of conditions to me.
Yeah, I'm very upset again. It seems like it had a spark of awareness there at the end and did not care enough about us to walk away a handful of steps before turning on its rockets. I mean, what? How callous. So I am currently injured, exhausted, and upset.
For me, I am scared from before, and now I am injured, +1, because as I am holding my ground, trying to speak to this machine, I do not want to show weakness or break eye contact, So I absorb the full force of these boots, which whoever designed these boots, please, you should consider just a vertical lift-off, not collateral. It is a waste of force, frankly, So yes, scared, injured. That's me.
The two of you get blown back by the rockets and tumble head over heels a few steps. And Michelle, once the wind has died down, Michelle peeks her head up from the stump that she's been very successfully not getting damaged because of. And she goes, Norbert! Willie! And she runs towards you guys. And the scene, I'm just going to end that scene because that's all the interesting stuff. As we are going to wind down this adventure with just 1 or 2 more closing scenes as you guys try to process what you just learned. Now, here's the thing about children versus adults, right? They don't process things the same way. They don't. So you guys maybe as adults would have talked about that, dissected it, examined the causes, really focused in on the whys and the wherefores and the hows. But as kids, I think it just kind of happened. And that's a thing. That's a thing that you all went through together. So from this moment on, although you don't really talk about it much after this, you bond over the shared experience that you had. What was that? What was that? And you guys are fast friends now this whole summer because of this experience that you had. Now, we're going to have a scene where Willie returns to Uncle Philo's cave with a black eye from fighting the machine. And Philo, played by Norbert's player, is going to know that Willie is having trouble dealing with bigger cousins back home. And standing up for himself is kind of why he's here. Learn how to be a proper troll. And Uncle Philo, you're going to deduce, conclude, assume that Willie's being bullied here just like he's being bullied back home. All right, Willie, go home with your black eye. Oh, and he's waiting up for you.
Oh, no. Yeah, so I come in, I make my way down the cave, past the glowing fungi, try to slip my way into the room, but there he is, Uncle Philo.
Oh. Well, look who's coming in, son. What makes you think you can get around old Uncle Philo?
Hello, Uncle.
Weren't you supposed to be in this room all night? Where have you been, son?
Yeah, I heard you say stay in the room, and Willie takes stock. He's injured, upset, just wiped out. He's like, yeah, I heard you say stay here, but you say all the time that being a troll is doing what you want, regardless of what people say. So I go out anyway, Uncle. I say, no, I not stay here. I'm going to go explore. I'm going to learn things, so I'm here for the summer. You try and stick me in this room. I don't know what you think I'm supposed to learn all by myself. So yeah, I go out.
So, a slight, almost imperceptible smirk shows up on your uncle's face. It's like, so, what did you learn then?
I learned that getting punched in the face sucks.
Aye, it does, son. Well, I'm glad you're learning life's lessons while you're with your uncle. I thought I could keep you away from the dangers of this world, 'cause, frankly, I thought you were a bit soft. But, and he looks you up and down, maybe there's more to little old Willie than I thought. He uncrosses his arms, and then he extends them as if to invite you toward him.
And you are concerned, Uncle Philo, that Willie is being bullied here like he was bullied back at home. Maybe you say something like, "Don't worry, we'll send you to a third place. Maybe you'll make some friends there. I hear you have a cousin on the other side."
Oh, no, that's not the Uncle Philo I know. Look, Willie, the reason I've survived as long as I have is I know when to get away from trouble and when to end trouble on my own terms. And it's about time you learn the same. That's why you're here. You're not running anymore, son. And I see, looks up and down, I see you've been into a scrape or two today, but we're gonna learn from it, and you're gonna be better. And hopefully one day you'll be as wily as Uncle Philo. What do you say?
I'm all injured because I wasn't going to leave my friends there to get punched by a robot.
Wait. Friends? You made friends? When did this happen?
When I go out, I can meet people. When I'm in my room, what am I supposed to do there?
Well, conflicted is the word I'd use to describe my emotions right now. I've lived a long life, and friends come and go, and most likely to betray you. But, thinking back, those were some of the best times of my life. You're doing good, son. You're doing good. Maybe there's hope for you yet. Maybe you don't have to go to some even more remote place. I mean, this place in Albium's about as stinky as I can imagine. But, there's hope for you.
I appreciate that, Uncle.
Why don't you brew us up a pot of whatever kind of tea trolls drink, and then you can tell me about your friends.
So what was the slugs in it?
My favorite, yes.
Yeah, okay, all right. Goes starts bustling around the kitchen.
Aw, that was a really nice scene. Aw, I'm glad. And that's how you grew up, Willie. You remember it. You remember all that. That's exactly how it happened. So, why are you here in the past? Now, we didn't have... There's branches with every adventure I create, right? One of the possible branches was that you could have snuck with Michelle into her parents' job at the reactor and investigated the mysterious lack of Kathump. But even without doing that, you did set it up that Peter's very interested in why there's no Kathump. And when Peter meets Norbert again and goes, aha, he has the last variable to solve his equation. So I'm going to do this one as a narration on the way out. If they had snuck into the reactor, Peter was there, greatly disturbed by the lack of Kathump, as a being from the plane of order. He needs that constant ticking to tell him that everything's okay. And without it, it's just chaos, and he cannot tolerate chaos. So not being able to hear it anymore, well, Peter puts his work belt on, and there's like if you've seen Tales from the Loop, what's inside the reactor is a great secret that not everybody is allowed to even know. There's a door that you players can know what's behind, but your characters never will. As Peter, extraplanar being that he is able to get past that door and able to go right into the heart of the reactor. He puts his work belt on and he walks inside that reactor to fix that clock, never to be seen again. Da-da-da. Willie's player's like, no.
Bum, bum, bum.
But what he left behind was a strong desire in Willie to learn more about artificing and about machines and about time travel. And speaking of, he was never seen again the whole rest of the summer that you were there, Willie. But you still had his repairable clock and clock repair tools, and you learned about artificing from the fellow artificers in town like Michelle and her parents. And we're going to skip ahead. So Willie went back to his parents at the end of the summer, and that long summer eventually came to a close. Norbert, you said goodbye to your friend. Everyone did a group hug and didn't cry at all as you said goodbye, not knowing when you would see each other again. And the inside of the reactor started ticking again. Ka-thump, ka-thump, ka-thump. As we go to the future, and stepping out of the reactor, how many years later, Norbert?
Sounds like 36.
36 years later in the future, Peter adjusts his work belt and steps out and wipes his brow. As a planar being, a jump of a few decades is not a big deal to him. The clock ticking again is all he wanted. And you, Wilford, an adult who has desperately wanted to learn about time travel for a long time, could go talk to him now. He is as unchanged as the day you left him, making watches in the town of Chalet-en-Vey, or whatever it's pronounced. So Peter is still there. You can go see him. And we resume what happened, really. The moment that had passed, like that. It's like a snap of the fingers. We resume in the guild hall, where Norbert, a candle behind a frame of yellowed glass. The yellow glass cracks and explodes as your consciousness rushes back into your adult body, and the exploding candle reminds Norbert and helps him realize something he didn't realize when he was a child, that your grandfather's later illness and death might not be death. That robot wasn't dead. As you've written for your character backstory and you want me to do, like what you saw in this adventure, maybe your grandfather was just being sucked dry by Joe High's relic. Perhaps if you found and broke that relic, you could revive Henri in a future adventure. Maybe he's not dead, he's just in stasis. His energy literally sucked out of him by Joe High's crystal. It's a possibility you'll have to investigate in a future adventure. Joining us for this adventure were Norbert.
I can't believe my grandfather could possibly be alive. He is under so much dirt.
And Willie.
Is it possible that your grandpa was a robot as well?
Oh, my mind is blown.
He was under the influence of a magic artifact. The coughing was his life being sucked out anyway. Joining us this time were our friends. Thank you for joining us. We hope you play Tales from the Loop yourself with your own friends. Goodbye.
Bye.
Adieu.